This story is all about a family's tragedy unfolding slowly in the very darkest heart of Africa. Hello everyone, welcome to Harry's Book Cafe. Today let's talk about Barbara Kingsolver's Poisonwood Bible. Barbara Kingsolver was a brand new author to me. I haven't read anything by her previously. However, I do know David Copperfield, written by her, has won the 2023 Best Women's Fiction. So I was really interested in her work. Now, in the course of researching her, I come across this book called the Poisonwood Bible, and I thought that was a fantastic title. So I decided to purchase that and give it a try. It was pretty hard going, especially in the prologue. I find it a little bit difficult to conceptualize what she was trying to communicate with me. However, as soon as that stage passes, the story opens up really and becomes much easier to grasp. The story is hugely ambitious and grand in its scale. It covers from 1940s to 1980s, so it covers spans of 40 years in length. Now, most parts of the story is centered in Belgium, Congo, written from the perspective of the Price family. Now, Price family consists of 6 members, the parents, and also 4 daughters. And the father, the Reverend Price, was someone who's really determined and has tons of tenacity. His mission catapulted he and his family all the way to the Belgium Congo, to the very darkest part of the jungle of Africa. His mission, obviously, it was to convert the local people to Christianity. Now, as I said before, Reverend Price was very determined, tenacious. However, he also lacks empathy towards local customs and culture. This is a pretty potent makes for disaster, as we shall see throughout the book. Now, his wife, Oriana Price, was certainly in the beginning quite accommodating, certainly towards her husband, so much so that she's willing to sacrifice certain aspects of her daughters to accommodate the husband. However, as the story progresses, we see a gradual change become much more violent towards the end of the book of her character. So from this accommodating gentlewoman, she changed to someone that's beyond recognition, which is quite an interesting transformation and very real as well. The main part of the story is based in Congo, as I said before, and each of the chapters is told from each of the daughters' perspective. So each of them will be headed to a particular chapter. Now, the 4 daughters, the oldest one is Rachel Price. When she arrived in Congo, she was already a 15-year-old teenager, and she was the most beautiful, the most blonde, perhaps not the most intelligent. She also sees herself as a victim to her circumstance, which is completely understanding, because her world in the cushy part of the USA was all about boys and soft, fluffy toys and pets. And almost overnight, she found herself being plugged away from this soft world to the dog-eat-dog world of jungles of Africa, where the toilet is the bush behind the house. So she found it very difficult to adjust. Her soft-centeredness and her lack of empathy doesn't really help her to survive in the environment, in such a harsh and alien environment, certainly to her. Now, the next daughter is Lee Price. Now, Lee Price perhaps is the woman that possesses the most empathy towards her local people, but she was also the daughter that loved her father the most. She shares his ideals, and she completely agrees with his teaching. However, just like her mother, her understanding of the father, her perceptions of her father, gradually changes as things starts to fall apart, as she becomes increasingly disillusioned with his ideals and his teaching. She found herself no longer sharing those ideologies. And her character is very interesting because she perhaps has the largest of changes apart from the mother. So reading her was quite interesting. and she made some decisions towards the end to stay in Africa, and she was the only one who actually stayed in Congo. She finds love despite everything. The next one is 8. 8 Price is the twin sister of Lee. She suffers from hemiplegia, which resulted in half of her body unable to move. Now, her disability really shapes to who she is, and also her disability is more than compensated by her sharp wit and intelligence. And because of this circumstance unique to her, she sees the world slightly differently than everybody else. And reading her is very interesting. In fact, she reminds me very much of the Lord of the Rings character. You know, the little guy who's fiercely intelligent. I can't remember his name. Targaryen? No. Anyway, you know what I mean. So that makes me like her more than the other characters. The last one, perhaps the least impactful, was the character of Mary Ruth Price. Now, she was the youngest of the daughters of the family, and therefore she found it the easiest to adapt to her surroundings. And because of this, she was able to mix very well with the local kids and made quite a few friends. Now, I said in the intro that this book is a family tragedy unfolding slowly in the darkest part of Africa, and this is exactly what happened. Now, I don't want to spoil the plot line for you, but there's one of the four daughters dies in the book. You really have to read it to find out. Now, the book is completely grand. Not only in terms of its physical length, not only in terms of the length of period that the book tries to cover, but also the themes that it's trying to cover in the book. So off the top of my head, I can think quite a few. So political instability, colonialism, American and Belgian interventionism or European interventionism, cultural appropriation, feminism, guilt, betrayal, redemption, and there's lots and lots of that, especially guilt, betrayal, and redemption. Very interesting book. As I said, it's my first Barbara Kingsolver book, and I really enjoyed it. So that really makes me looking forward to reading the David Copperfield very soon. Now, the book based in Africa, and it's all about one man's determination to do the things that he wants to do, despite the discomfort that it brings to his family. It very much reminds me of this book, the King Thoreau's The Lower Rivers. It's also about one man's determination to find paradise, to find redemption, and he also seeks to find those in Africa. I read this many years ago. Can't remember the plot line very much, but I do remember that I enjoyed it a lot at the time. So I will read this one again and bring you an actual review soon. The only thing, I liked everything about this book. I like the lyrical language. I like the flowery language when it needs to be. Really well done. And the grand scales of the things that the book tries to cover. My only criticism is the sheer size of it. It took me 2 weeks to actually finish reading it, and the texts are intensely tightly packed on each page. So even though the official page number is somewhere around 550 pages, but because of the formatting, I think it could easily go over 700 and 750 pages in a standard format on any other book. So to me, I think the book is slightly overly long. I think cut down by about 100 pages would really make it even better. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the review, and I do hope you have enjoyed it. Please subscribe and like. It really does help a little channel like mine to grow on YouTube. And if you have read the book Poisonwood Bible, please leave a comment down below. Or if you have read anything similar or any other books by Barbara Kingsolver, please leave a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. Anyway, guys, I once again hope you have enjoyed the video. Until next time, cheerio.